So, what does a perfect life even mean? We're always sold this idea of a life with zero problems, zero stress. But what if that's totally backward? Today, we're going to dive deep into the philosophy of a book called The Bible of a Perfect Life. And its answer, well, it might just change the way you look at everything. Right out of the gate, the book drops a bombshell. It basically says, forget the fantasy of a perfect, pain-free existence. The real goal, the so-called perfect life, has nothing to do with what happens to you. It's all about how aware you are while it's all going down. It's about being truly, consciously alive.
Okay, so if being conscious is the goal, what's stopping us? Well, the book argues that most of us are run by an internal, unconscious machine. We're on autopilot pretty much all the time. So let's pop the hood and see how this thing really works.
First up is the ego, and the book is really clear about this. The ego is not the bad guy here. Think of it more like a survival tool we started building as kids. It's this collection of all our experiences, our fears, and all the stuff society told us we should be. It's a mechanism for navigating the world. And this is the crucial part. The ego is an amazing tool for survival. We absolutely need it. The problem kicks in when the tool starts thinking it's the boss. When it goes from being a helpful part of us to becoming the absolute ruler of our entire life, calling all the shots. So what's fueling this ruler? What's its power source? It's one word: fear. This philosophy suggests that almost all of our automatic unconscious behaviors are driven by fear. The ego's number one job is to protect us from what it thinks are threats, and fear is its favorite tool for the job. This brings us to the mind itself, which, a lot of the time, just operates like a machine. I mean, think about it. How often do you get stuck in a thought loop? Replaying some dumb argument in your head, or feeling the same spike of anxiety over and over again. Yep, that's the unconscious machine at work. Okay, so that's the problem. We're being run by this fear-based machine. So the obvious question is, how in the world do we break free? Well, the book lays out a really clear path to liberation, and it's surprisingly direct. The whole path to breaking free really boils down to a three-step process. First, you just observe your mind without judging it. Second, you start to recognize the fear that's actually driving your reactions. And third, and this is the tough one, you take total responsibility for your own internal state. Let's dig into that first step, which the book calls autonosia, or self-awareness. And this is a huge insight. This isn't about self-improvement. It's about self-seeing. It's the simple but not easy practice of looking at yourself honestly, without trying to fix or criticize or make excuses for what you see. Now, that third step, responsibility, that is the absolute game changer. The second you stop blaming the world or your job or your past for how you feel, you take all your power back. You stop being a victim of your circumstances and start being the one in charge of your own experience. But here's the thing. This philosophy isn't asking you to run off to a monastery and meditate on a mountaintop for 10 years. Nope, not at all. The real training ground for becoming more conscious is your actual everyday life. Every single moment, being stuck in traffic, sitting through a boring meeting, even just doing the dishes, all of it becomes an opportunity. It's a chance to watch your automatic reactions, to see your patterns, and to choose a conscious response instead of just letting the machine run the show. And you know where this practice gets really intense? Our relationships. The book says to think of other people as mirrors. Whatever you react to in them, the things that annoy you, the qualities you envy, it's not really about them. It's a direct reflection of your own inner world, staring right back at you. So, what's the payoff for all this work? If you actually commit to this kind of practice day in and day out, what does a life lived with this kind of awareness actually look and feel like? Well, the outcome is what the book calls an authentic existence. It's not about hitting some external goal. It's about creating an internal state of harmony and meaning. And from that, a natural sense of morality just sort of emerges. You find freedom from all the social programming, and you learn to accept the fact that life is finite. And this might be the most profound point of the whole philosophy. It argues that by fully, truly accepting our own mortality, not fearing the end, but seeing it clearly, we finally give ourselves permission to live completely, right here, right now. The value of this very moment becomes infinite. And that leaves us with a question, doesn't it? Because this whole thing isn't just a cool theory, it's a practice. So if you started today, right now, treating every single moment as a chance to just observe. What do you think you learn about who's really running the show inside?